The new guy joined the old Cooperstown save, and I told him that it was a old save of the world.
I'm on Roblox. I was gonna do it.
I'm trying to get Fox. I'm trying to get you to, like, you know. Yo.
Buddy, you're on a safe game.
To give the new guy a tour.
Oh, the live stream ended.
I would do it, but I got off. If I was gone, I would have gone.
Oh, no.
Yes, I'm on a current day save.
Make sure they can hear you, by the way, though. So you have to turn on your thing and voice chat.
Oh, Roanoke, why do you have to start up a new live stream?
I had to start up a new one because my Minecraft would not close.
I don't know. I'm on PS5, so I just went to the party, like the settings, so let me do it.
Win both the Daytona 500, the Indianapolis.
What is it? Will all those fall out? I'm in it!
Her mom is crashing now. That's a quick.
Who do you think?
Akbar sounding off.
Hit him with the corn.
Might blow up, bro.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Stop with your stupid shit!
That's crazy. Just stupid. He's going super sane. Little nigga, what's wrong with you, bro? She raping you? Let it happen.
Hi, bud. Hey, Chase. You been a good boy. You been a good puppy.
Stop it. Here. 1, 2. You better get it or I'm getting a handful of hair. Take it.
He just dropped it in the floor.
Is that loud?
Get your fucking gummy. Your vitamins, you need them.
Eli, is he saying?
Why are you sticking it in your nose? Stop! I'm not playing. Enough. Stop! Don't you dare! Stop!
Why is he laughing?
Fucking stupid!
More kidnappings keep happening, Karen. This is really bad. No!
Stop it!
I can't, dude. I think I was.
We're acting just like them stupid asses on there! I love it! Stop! I want it. Then stop. I shouldn't have to keep telling you that. I should only have to tell you one time.
What the hell?
You're not going.
Hey, where'd you place this? Where'd you place this? It fell out of the fridge. Wow. No. Did you get new ones? Yeah. What? Hey, listen. Watch our run, please. Huh? Hey, I am. I'm in the kitchen. Just no punk I dough. Yes. Nick. Close your mouth. Ain't nobody want to see your teeth. Near me. Yes, near me. Oh, it's still frozen. Dude, it's still fucking frozen. I've been cooking it for almost 4 days. What, Ginge? Why'd you drop your comm? Okay, good. It's not frozen. I'm back. Bro. Hold on, man. If you're still there.
I'm about to drop 10K on a pool.
Let me get Fox back up in here. Or Cybris. You can call him Fox. Yeah. I was just about to join. I know. He texted it how long ago? 12 minutes. That's what people say. That's what people say. Right where I'm at. So I'm about to eat my dinner. If I had bacon bits, this would be 10 times better.
Restart my Minecraft.
Not mac and cheese, Alfredo.
I've dropped 14 bands on a pool. That's got 14 bands.
Tell him to get out of it. Get out of the helicopter, please, if you're in my stream.
2 months ago, I made a video about Brian Johnson. No, not Brian Johnson, the Liver King. Brian Johnson, the anti-aging health guru who says he's going to live forever. Now, there's something about that name, I don't really quite understand it, but being named Brian Johnson somehow compels these individuals to become fake gurus and make up bogus health claims in order to sell their overpriced health supplements. There are some mysteries to the universe that most likely will never be solved. I don't know why that is. But since I made that video about 2 months ago about Brian Johnson, more has come to light about him.
Ow.
Now there's more deception, more dishonesty that Brian is putting out there. So we're going to be talking about that in this video. Can you believe it? He hasn't changed his ways. He's only gotten worse.
No.
I know, guys. I know. Now, before we get into the video, I also want to say he also did respond to something, a few things that I mentioned in the first video. So we'll take a look at that later in the video. And one thing I want to say is the video that I put out, it did quite well. I think it's like over 100,000 views at this point. And most of the comments were positive about that video, but there were a few people who I assumed were Brian Johnson fans who said in the video that I was fat, and they weren't going to listen to me because they thought that Brian Johnson was in better shape than me, and I'm a big old fatty. Which, if you don't know, that's called an ad hominem attack. And when you say something like that,
he's not even big.
Section, basically, you're telling everyone, hey, I don't have an actual argument as to anything wrong in the video. I just want to make fun of you personally. So for this video, if there's a Brian Johnson fan watching this video, you have to come up with actual reasons as to why something is wrong in the video. Say, Scott, you got this wrong here. I'm going to explain it to you. If you just call me a big old mean fatty in the comments section, it's going to hurt my feelings, and I'm also not going to take you very seriously, because that's not a legitimate argument as to why you should disregard things I say in my video, right? Come up with actual arguments of why you don't like the video. Now we're going to take a look at different things regarding Brian Johnson, and the first thing I want to talk about, the first thing I want to mention, one comment that I saw was people were saying, hey, you know, you should try Brian Johnson's products, you know, and see if they actually work for you, Scott, right? And what these individuals didn't know, I didn't mention this in the first video.
You're literally Medusa, but a guy.
Products. This particular product, I'll show a picture on the screen. I bought this all the way back in September of 2020. So way before I made a video, I've been looking into Brian for a long time. I bought his longevity mix. This is the blood orange longevity mix. And as you can see, it's still full. I never finished it. Bought it back in September. Mostly because I didn't really feel like it was that beneficial. It's got a bunch of creatine in it. I take creatine in pre-workout. If I don't take pre-workout, I take creatine gummies. And this has a bunch of creatine in it as well. And I didn't really feel like it was all that beneficial. So I never finished Brian Johnson's longevity mix. I still have it just sitting in my cupboard since September of last year. But what happened was, when I bought that product, I gave Brian Johnson my email address. Signed up for the emails, and I've been getting emails from Brian Johnson ever since then. Now, every once in a while, Brian Johnson will launch a new product on the Blueprint Protocol. That's his website, selling all these health products, and I'll get emails about it. And what's interesting is just a few weeks after I made my video about him, Brian Johnson launched a new product on his store. It is the extra virgin olive oil travel packs.
What? Monster truck event. I literally said that.
Very interesting, Brian. Very interesting. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the olive oil, this is the olive oil that Brian Johnson talked about on the Diary of a CEO podcast, where he told everyone that taking olive oil would help you lose more weight than
full white building.
Better than Ozempic.
Mm-hmm.
Really? It is. So, for example, there's a study where people lost 5.2 pounds taking Evo, consuming Evo, for 9 weeks.
And then later, when called out about that statement on More Plates, More Dates, a podcast with Derek, he confessed that he had no idea what he was talking about, and he just basically misread the article that was saying that was true. So it's not true at all.
You mentioned there was a study where individuals consumed extra virgin olive oil for 9 weeks and lost 5.2 pounds, and it was in addition to what they're currently eating. It's better than Ozempic.
You know what? That was before we went through the process. And so when I did that podcast and we started going through the whole process, like, oh my god, I really should have cleaned up my language.
Okay.
So yeah, that was before.
He's been selling this snake oil olive oil for some time, but he launched the new extra virgin olive oil travel packs just recently, right? Just a few weeks ago. Now, when I saw this launch, I clicked on it, I went to the Blueprint Protocol, and I saw that right off the bat, this brand new item that was launched already has 1,338 reviews. All positive, by the way, 5 stars. That is amazing, Brian. The fact that you can launch a brand new product and literally within days of that brand new product being on your store, you already have over 1,000, over 1,300 5-star reviews telling people how amazing your little travel packets of your olive oil really are. So amazing. I didn't believe it was true, guys, so I did a little digging. I did a little digging to this, And what's really interesting is he has another listing for the extra virgin olive oil, the actual bottle of it, right? And you can see that it has the same exact amount of reviews, 1,338. So it would lead me to believe that Brian Johnson just copy-pasted reviews from an old product onto a new product, which is very, very disingenuous. He really shouldn't do that in business, copy over reviews, right? So let's take a closer look. If you actually look at the extra virgin olive oil, you go to the reviews. The first three reviews are all solid product. I'll be reordering for sure. Put your trust in Brian and amazing. So those are the titles for the first three reviews on the snake oil, right? The bottles. So let's go over to the actual little extra virgin olive oil travel pack. So we'll click on that. We'll look at the reviews. And sure enough, the first three reviews are solid product. I'll be reordering for sure. Put your trust in Brian and amazing. So it looks like, yes, 100%, Brian Johnson decided to just copy-paste reviews from an old product onto a new product, right? That's very dishonest. That's a very immoral business practice to do. Now, next up, I want to take a look at some actual Reddit posts from Brian Johnson's own subreddit called Blueprint. Now, I mentioned this in the last video. If you don't know, a lot of big social media influencers, a lot of
I'm gonna use the bathroom.
have their own subreddit. And what will happen over time, in many cases, it'll go from mostly positive reviews, and over time, sentiment about that individual will change.
Gino Isaiah is playing Steal a Ride, and he has to go away. I have a girlfriend. Wait, what?
Who's even watching the FIFA World Cup?
How did you say the old from McDonald's had a new McDonald had a new Oh, McDonald had a nigger. E-I-E-I-O. On that farm he had a slave. E-I-E-I-O. And what that slave did is he worked till he couldn't feel his hands. Oh, that slave worked all through the day and night. Oh, what fun it is to slave away from McDonald. I think back to doing some slaving for old McDonald.
Gunga gung. Most wisest words ever said. Free weed.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's suing it.
Don't bother him. Don't do it, just like Nick. Go.
Nick.
Job application. What? Like an older style McDonald's? Out where? You mean the missile silo? Yeah, that's right where Cool Killer used to live. No, Cool Killer just built his stuff there. What are y'all playing? Is that one game, Drive a Monster Truck, still not ready to be played?
The owner is Arnold F. Morris, who maybe saw other places like Chuck E. Cheese's and thought he would do pretty much the exact same thing. Now, that's just a speculation, but it might be possible. It included at the animatronic show. And here it is. Okay, it looks like they see... You guys ready, bro? Alright, guys. Let's go.
purpose of this video is to inform. Do not harass or contact any individuals mentioned. All claims made in this video are speculative, based upon publicly available information. This video contains strong subject matter, including child endangerment. Viewer discretion is advised.
NASCAR has a ton of great drivers with a ton of great stories. Let's go through and explain each 2025 full-time driver in the Cup Series in number order. Starting off strong, we have Ross Chastain, who drives the one car for Trackhouse Racing. You probably know him from the famous wall ride he pulled off at Martinsville a few years back. It's safe to say that he might have a few screws loose up top if he's crazy enough to pull off a move like that. And his reputation for aggression doesn't just come from that wall ride. He's had his share of run-ins and conflicts since he joined Trackhouse in 2022, where he's become a top...
Hey, whenever you're finished, do you want a road connected to your McDonald's?
Loved guys in the Cup Series. Austin Cindric drives the famous number 2 car for Team Penske. Cindric is one of those guys that you often just don't think about when you watch a NASCAR race. Yes, he's a Daytona 500 champion, and yes, he's won in 3 out of 4 of his full-time seasons, but he's easily the weakest of the Penske drivers, and he does ride mostly off the back of his father, Tim Cindric, who was the president of Penske until he got fired for cheating at the Indy 500. Plenty of fans will argue that Cindric probably shouldn't have this ride. Speaking of drivers who shouldn't have the ride they do, Austin Dillon drives the 3 car for Richard Childress. He's one of the biggest nepotism rides in the sport. His grandfather literally owns the team, and it's made worse by the fact that they brought Dale's number 3 out of retirement for him. All things considered though, at least he's a decent Cup Series driver with 5 wins and several playoff appearances, but all those wins have an asterisk. In particular, Austin's win at Richmond in 2024, where he raced the checkers like you and I do versus the AI in racing games. Noah Gragson is one of NASCAR's most chaotic drivers. Whether it's throwing up after winning, a disgusting haircut...
he's talking about Noah Gragson.
He's going to be chaotic, and he's pretty popular for it. He won the fan vote to get into the All-Star race on multiple occasions. He had a lot of success coming up through the Xfinity Series and was a hyped rookie, but he's never quite properly fit in at the Cup level and remains winless. To be fair, that is a lot due to bad...
Real.
He's still pretty young, so he's got some time to break out in Cup. Kyle Larson is perhaps the most versatile race car driver in the world right now. He'll win on dirt during the week, then come and whoop the field on any given Sunday. Not to mention he's also qualified and run top 10 at the Indy 500. His biggest flaw, though, is that he often just goes too hard in the paint and spins out or crashes and costs himself wins. While he currently drives for Hendrick, he started his career at Chip Ganassi Racing and absolutely carried that 42 car. And of course, as soon as he got top equipment, he won a championship. He struggled to dominate with the Gen 7 car, though. Brad Keselowski is the 2012 NASCAR Cup Series champion. For a decade, he drove the Penske 2 car, but he decided to leave at the end of 2021 to become a part owner of Roush Fenway Racing, rebranded to RFK Racing. Since then, it's been up and down for Brad, but the team has definitely been revived from where it was before Brad came in, with the team having 6 wins in 4 years, the first time the team had won on raw pace since Carl Edwards left in 2014. Now it seems like Brad just can't catch a break, as every time things are going well, something goes wrong. A penalty, a failure, whatever it is, they just can't put together a full race in that 6 car very often. Justin Haley is an interesting driver. He's had a journeyman career, but it all got kicked off by a fortunate Thunder-assisted win at Daytona in 2019. Driving for Spire Motorsports, a backmarker that barely anyone knew the name of, the win fell right into his lap thanks to leaders pitting right before the weather came. Since then, he's found some success in the Xfinity Series and has moved to Cup full-time as a pretty consistent driver. He started full-time with Kaulig Racing as they moved into the Cup Series, but seeing how much they were struggling, he made the shocking choice to move to Rick Ware Racing, the team that many would consider the worst in NASCAR. But he actually made it work and had some darn good runs, and this got him traded mid-season back to Spire, where he now drives the 7 car. Kyle Busch is one of NASCAR's greatest drivers of all time. In fact, if you combine all 3 National Series, he's the all-time wins leader in the history of the sport. But in 2023, he moved from Joe Gibbs Racing, a top 3 team in NASCAR, to Richard Childress Racing, certainly not a top 3 team. And despite one good season, he has not been the same guy since the start of 2024. Much like Brad Keselowski, it seems like something happens at the exact wrong time for Kyle Busch every time he's close to getting back to victory lane. I mean, seriously, the list is just unbearable for Busch fans. Spinning at Kansas with 7 laps left, spinning at Sonoma on the last lap, getting wiped out by Kyle Larson running out of gas, just barely losing in the Southern 500, getting passed on the last lap of Daytona by the guy who was 33rd in points, backing his car into the wall as soon as he announced the intention for a good day.
Your mother.
Kansas while fighting.
He's building the very first McDonald's.
Let's hope he's not washed up.
No.
Chase Elliott is NASCAR's
Like first McDonald's in the United States.
Elliott, the most popular driver in the history of the sport. Chase has taken over that mantle and wins the award year in, year out. It also helps that he was a hugely hyped prospect coming out of the Xfinity Series and took over Jeff Gordon's 24 car before switching to the 9. Chase broke out in 2018, winning 3 races, and after another couple of good seasons, won the 2020 championship. In 2022, he was probably the best driver in NASCAR, but after breaking his leg in 2023, things haven't quite been the same. He's still super consistent and among the points leaders every year, but finding those coveted first place finishes has been a struggle. We'll see if he can start rattling off wins again. Austin Dillon's younger and sometimes forgotten brother, Ty, has faced more adversity in his career. Though his grandfather certainly helped him, he's never outright drove for RCR in the Cup Series, so his seat in the 10-car at Kaulig Racing is at least partly earned on merit. Ty's never really been a true threat in Cup because he's driven for backmarker teams his whole career. He averages 1 top 10 season. But he did find some success in trucks and Xfinity in the early 2010s, and he had a moment where he got called Lewis Hamilton.
Queer.
That's about it for his career highlights, though. Denny Hamlin is NASCAR's most controversial driver. Instantly successful in his rookie season in 2006, Denny became your average, run-of-the-mill, moderately liked veteran driver by the mid-2010s. But after wrecking the Golden Boy at Martinsville in 2017, Denny has embraced the dark side, and had his share of run-ins and bragging. He's now one of the most booed drivers at the track on a week-to-week basis, and it seems fans are bound to either love him or hate him. It's nice to know NASCAR still has personalities like that. Now, Denny is the winningest driver in history without a championship, and he's had a laundry list of choke jobs in the playoffs, from his team putting tape the size of a front door on his grill in the championship race, to getting eliminated by Ross Chastain's wall ride. He can't quite seem to find his way to that trophy, but he does have 3 Daytona 500s to make up for it.
Yeah.
Ryan Blaney is everyone's second favorite NASCAR driver. He's a very likable guy and the 2023 Cup champ, but he just hasn't rounded up as big of a die-hard fan base as some others. Perhaps that has to do with his driving for Team Penske. Their drivers don't tend to have a good reputation among the fans. But Blaney is one of the best drivers in the sport now, and probably the fastest Ford on a week-to-week basis. He was a one-win type of guy for the first few years of his career, but after finally having a 3-win season...
I know, Fox, it's so surprising.
Admittedly, he did kind of steal his championship in 2023 by winning at Martinsville and then finishing second at Phoenix, but he's still on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Maybe he can add a few more cups to his trophy case. He can add a few more cups to his trophy case. AJ Allmendinger is the first of what we like to call road course ringers in the Cup Series. They're guys known for their experience, not just turning left, but also right. And even if you're not the greatest at ovals, knowing your way around a road course well enough is good enough for a ride in modern NASCAR, where all you need is 1 win to make the playoffs. With a background in open-wheel racing, AJ's ability to turn right has scored 3 wins in the Cup Series. But he's also pretty solid at ovals, too. He has 18 wins in the Xfinity Series, including 2 championships, 4 appearances. If you need someone to carry bad equipment to a win at a road course, AJ's your guy. Chris Buescher's career started with success in the lower series. He picked up 7 wins in 2 years in the trucks, then moved to Xfinity and won the championship. But unfortunately, he was moved up to mid-equipment in the Cup Series with Front Row and then JTG Doherty Racing. Despite the mid-equipment, he actually landed a win at Pocono in 2016 with the help of some fog rolling in. He moved over to Roush Fenway in 2020, yet another mid-team, and it looked like he was about to just have a career as a field filler until Brad bought his stake and the team rapidly improved. Since Brad joined, Buescher has won 5 races in 3.5 years, including 3 in 2023, which came with a 7th place points finish. Buescher is now a pretty reasonable threat to win a race every few weeks, and if RFK continues to improve, he could become one of the top drivers in NASCAR, but for now I'd say he's a tier below. Chase Briscoe might be the other Chase to some people, but he's still a darn good driver. In the Xfinity Series in 2020, he absolutely dominated, winning 9 races and getting promoted to Stewart-Haas's 14 car the next season. At the dying team that was SHR, he struggled to find consistency, but he did have a pretty solid 2022 season. In 2025, he moved to Joe Gibbs Racing, and now definitely has the potential to be one. Go too well though, and the company would downsize to
Get this nigga out, bro.
5. But this actually worked out for Berry as he moved to the Wood Brothers, and instantly the team looked significantly better, and he even won at Las Vegas. He's got pretty consistent speed, especially at the intermediate tracks.
We do not like this nigga.
His background. Despite it being only his second year in Cup, he's already 34 years old, so we'll see where
his main account got banned.
Perhaps the most hated driver in NASCAR today is Joey Logano. It's not just the fact that he comes from a wealthy family, or that people find him to be cheesy off the track. Fans don't like how fond he is of the bump and run, or in some cases the dump and run. And not to mention Joey wins like a pest. He comes out of nowhere and you just can't get rid of him. He hasn't led 1,000 laps in a season since 2015, and despite that he's got 23 wins and 3 championships in that span. 1 minute you'll be watching the race and your favorite driver is leading, about to win, and the next Joey Logano will have appeared out of 20th place to win the race. And then he'll go to the championship race and steal that one too. There was a time in the mid-2010s where he genuinely was dominant, but those days are gone. Yet it still feels like he's going to snatch the trophy every year. Thanks, NASCAR playoff system. Bubba Wallace is one of only a few household names left in NASCAR, but unfortunately it has nothing to do with on-track activity. People might be surprised when they realize he's actually a seasoned Cup vet at this point, 8 years into his career. He kicked things off.
Oh yeah, by the way, dinosaurs aren't allowed.
Seasons, but then he struggled with mediocre equipment and Xfinity.
You can have a dog or a cat.
Motorsports in the 43, he ran fairly well for a team that was one of the worst in the garage. In 2021, he moved to Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan's new team in 2311. The team worked through some growing pains, but did get a rain-shortened win at Talladega, then won on pace at Kansas the following year. Since then, Bubba's had his fair share of chances to snag wins, but can't quite seem to put it all together, and has only made the playoffs once. Compared to his teammate, it feels like Bubba struggles to measure up, but he'll have his chance to turn things around. For a couple of years, every time William Byron would win a race, we would hear over and over again about how he started on a computer! And it is true, he got started in his teens through iRacing and eventually moved to Legends cars in real life, when he was signed by Dale Jr. to run late and climb through the ranks. He instantly won 7 races in trucks, then instantly won the Xfinity title, then moved up to Cup at only 20 years old. It took him a few years to get going, but he really broke out in 2023, winning 6 races and cementing himself as a top-tier driver. He's leading the points in 2025 and has won at almost every type of track, road courses, super speedways, intermediate and short tracks. So even though he might just be the next Jeff Gordon in that 24 car, I think many of us will always think of him as a computer boy. Todd Gilliland comes from a racing family, but make no mistake, he's earned his seat in the Cup Series. 20 top 5s in 3 years in the Truck Series got him moved up to front row motorsports in the Cup. He was definitely outran by his veteran teammate Michael McDowell, but that was expected. By his 3rd season, Todd was consistently outrunning his equipment and got promoted in the 2025 offseason to become the top driver at the team, taking over the 34 car. He struggled to keep up the pace this year, but what he lacks in speed, he makes up for in personality. I mean, seriously, Todd's one of the funniest guys in the field, and it feels like no one realizes it. Riley Herbst is the first rookie in this video, and he's struggled dearly. He's mostly in his ride thanks to his connections, and that's pretty clear on the track.
Dahmer ass nigga.
Two of the top teams in Xfinity, Riley only scored 3 wins over 5 full-time seasons, and now moving up to Cup, he sits 35th in points, despite both of his teammates sitting above the playoff cut line. Even for the commentators, it's hard to remember that 2311 has a third car. One thing that he has going for him is that he's still young. Give him a couple years and maybe he can step up his game. Zane Smith was a great Truck Series driver from 2020 to 2023. He won a championship and had 2 second-place points finishes. He skipped Xfinity and went full-time at front row in 2024, where he had a solid season for a rookie in a midfield team, though he still wound up 30th in points. He's making steady improvements this season. I could definitely see him having a career similar to Chris Buescher, but for now he's just getting started. Cole Custer has a similar story to Austin Cindric. In fact, both are very successful Xfinity champions, Cup Series winners, and are related to a former or current team executive. Despite the nepotism, it's hard to criticize Cole too much given the extent of his success in the lower series, especially when you consider how bad Haas has gotten over the years. You can definitely argue that he should have done better in 2020 and 2022 when Kevin Harvick was able to score multiple wins with the same equipment, but Custer was still young and perhaps was still getting adjusted to the top level. Regardless, he's little more than an afterthought these days, as Haas has fallen to being one of the worst teams in NASCAR, and he's currently 34th in points. John Hunter Nemechek is the son of former Cup winner and Xfinity Series champ Joe Nemechek. He's been around in the lower series for about a decade now, and he's found a ton of success in both trucks and Xfinity, especially when he got the chance to drive the 20 car in 2023. He moved up to Cup last year and had a rough rookie season, but now he's really starting to come into his own. Definitely helped by Legacy Motor Club finally starting to find their footing again. He's already got 6 top 10s and 1 top 5 on the year, and if he continues to improve, he could have himself a solid and lengthy Cup career. If that doesn't work out though, he's always got his YouTube shorts that he could fall back on, which have hundreds of millions of views. Millions of views. Eric Jones has had a solid Cup Series career, though it hasn't quite lived up to his hype as a truck champion and being moved into the 20 car at Joe Gibbs Racing. He won 2 races at JGR in his 3 years at the team, and unless you have heavy sponsor backing or are friends with the right people, that's not going to be enough to keep your ride at one of the top teams. Especially in 2020 when your team wins 9 races and you win 0. Unfortunately though, he faced a pretty severe demotion into the dying Richard Petty Motorsports team. But thanks to GMS and Jimmy Johnson buying into the team, Eric has actually done a really good job in what was a backmarker just a few years ago. I'm not sure what his path back to consistent playoff contention is, but it's probably not with Legacy Motorsports. I think regardless of what happens, I'll always know him as
that Jones boy.
And for saying,
"How about that race, boys and girls?"
And for winning the Clash with the destroyed car. Tyler Reddick is arguably one of those top-tier guys in Cup today, and if he's not, then he's headlining the second tier. The 2-time Xfinity champ is known for his ability to run right next to the fence. That's how he won the trophy at Miami twice. He's also an incredible road course racer, with 3 of his 8 wins coming at Road America, Indianapolis, and COTA. He was the first non-Penske, Hendrick, or Gibbs driver to make the championship 4 since Kevin Harvick in 2019. Suffice to say that he's getting the best out of his equipment, and has been since he won 3 races with RCR in 2022. I'd say he's also got a great level-headed approach to racing. Level-headed would not exactly be the way I would describe Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He earned himself the nickname Recky Spinhouse Jr. over the course of his career, in large part thanks to his aggression, especially at super speedways. It feels like every time there's a big wreck and they cut to the replay, it's always started by Keselowski, Logano, Stenhouse, or some combination of the 3. Whatever names you want to call him, it's clearly working for him. He's a 4-time winner on super speedways, and a Daytona 500 champion. That alone is enough to keep you in Cup for years. A very Michael Waltrip-esque career. Alex Bowman is one of the unique drivers in Cup who has almost no success in the lower series, and he started his career in backmarkers, catching fire at New Hampshire. But he got the chance of a lifetime in 2016 when he subbed for Dale Jr., who was suffering from concussions. Bowman performed extraordinarily well for a 23-year-old with almost no experience. He almost looked better than Dale, and almost won at Phoenix. Hendrick picked him up full-time in 2018, and he won his first race the next year. Since then, he's been mostly a solid 1-win-a-year kind of guy, save for when he won 4 races in 2021, although he backed into a couple of those victories. People do pick on him for being the weakest of the Hendrick drivers, but he's still very consistent, even if he leads the fewest laps of the team. A high-floor, low-ceiling kind of driver. Coach Ware is the worst driver in NASCAR. He's only in the sport because of nepotism, and he's only got 2 top 10s in his 9-year career. For a while, he seemed like an industry plant the way he would crash or cause a caution so often. It feels like he's at least gotten better at keeping the car pointed straight. But other than that, he's a field filler. That's all there is to it. Ty Gibbs is the grandson of Joe Gibbs, so another nepotism driver. But he quickly silenced the doubters when he won in his first ever National Series race at the Daytona Road Course. He instantly became one of the hottest drivers in Xfinity and won 7 races in the championship in his first full-time year. But his move up the Cup has been pretty disappointing so far. He's run over 100 races with JGR and still hasn't won, despite looking very fast at the start of 2024. He missed the playoffs in 23 and has had a terrible 2025 so far. If his name was Eric Jones, he'd probably be forced out in 2026, but I suspect due to his name, and to be fair, also his great Xfinity resume, he's going to be given a very long leash. Ryan Preece isn't a super popular driver, but he honestly should be for how tough the guy is alone. He's this generation's Ryan Newman with all the insane crashes that he's had in the Cup Series. I mean seriously, when your face looks like this because your blood vessels popped after flipping 11 times and you still race the next week, that deserves some respect. He's also totally free from any nepotism or filthy rich upbringing. Everything he's gotten, he's earned. And despite his career being mostly in back markers, now that he's with RFK Racing, I suspect that first win might just be on the horizon. Michael McDowell has driven in mid-equipment for his whole career, but he's started to outperform it on a pretty consistent basis over the past 5 years. Winning a race in a front row car is not easy, but Michael McDowell got it done twice. He's a Daytona 500 champ, and for some reason over the past year or so has become an absolute rocket in qualifying, with 7 poles. Again, in very mid cars. He's also great on road courses, another driver with open wheel experience. Even though he's already 40, it feels like he's just hitting his stride in his career. We'll see if he can continue the upward trend. Carson Hocevar might be the hottest name in NASCAR right now. A guy that was good enough in trucks to skip Xfinity and go Cup racing in 21. He started off great in 2023 when he subbed for Corey LaJoie and ran better than him in his own car until he had a mechanical failure. He had a solid first season and won Rookie of the Year, but in 2025 he's really started to break out. Hocevar has been running up front consistently, especially at the intermediate tracks. He could have won multiple races already this year. He finished second at Atlanta, was fighting for the win at the Coke 600 when his engine gave out, finished second at Nashville, and led 32 laps at Michigan. He's also one of the biggest social media presences in the sport. The guy streamed iRacing on Twitch during the Daytona 500 rain delay, and he's also got reels on Instagram with millions of views poking fun at himself. But that's not all. He's also known for being reckless on the track. He had altercations in the Truck Series, intentionally spun Harrison Burton under caution last year, and also developed a rivalry with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And he's doing all of this with Spire Motorsports, a team that was never meant to actually compete until Justin Haley accidentally won a race for them. Hocevar is the guy to keep your eye on during every race. Shane Van Gisbergen is just built different at road courses. The perfect storm arose at the Chicago Street Course for him to come in and win in his first ever NASCAR race. The cars were now similar to the V8 supercars the New Zealand man drove back home, and the track was new, so it was an even playing field. When you win in your first race, you can't just quit there, so SVG moved to America and ran a season in Xfinity and won on 3 road courses, then moved to Cup full-time in 2025. He's struggled mightily on the ovals, and he found himself 33rd in points entering Mexico City, but he saved his season by whooping the field, winning by over 15 seconds like it was an F1 race, and he was driving a 2023 Red Bull. There's no question that he'll be a consistent road course threat for however long he wants to race, but if he can take that next step at ovals, he could have an incredible...
Oh, he's done making his McDonald's.
The other foreman driver in the Cup Series is Daniel Suarez, and he's had a similar story to Eric Jones, being booted out of Joe Gibbs Racing. But for Suarez, things are kind of flipped. He struggled mightily in the 19 car, and also in the 44 car to Stuart Haas. He moved to an unchartered back marker car in 2020 and even missed the Daytona 500. It was beginning to feel like his career in Cup was pretty much over. He could go back down and be successful in Xfinity because he was a champion in that series. In 2021, he got what felt like one last chance at a brand new team called Trackhouse Racing. And after a decent first year for an entirely new team, in 2022 the team bought out Chip Ganassi Racing and Suarez finally landed his first win. Since then he's only had 1 win in the last 3 years though, and when your teammate has made the championship 4 and won 6 races, that stat line is not ideal. And especially with his rough 2025, it was no shock to hear that he will be returning in 2026, probably being replaced by the great young prospect Connor Zillage. So that's every full-time driver in NASCAR explained. Thanks for watching.
Driving while busted means that you're driving dangerously because you're not drunk, that's drunk. I use that. Why? For I can't use for driving. You're not under the You're not even in your car from. Oh, yes, I could turn my vehicle off, right? Fine. Okay. Stop being a honk. I'm gonna.
Alright, peekaboo, short arm.
I'm just making this like cracked concrete or cracked asphalt.
$250 for reckless driving. You have a nice night. But the shift is in 6 hours. Hazard.
Yes or no?
Oh yeah, mine is track on anyone like that.
Sure. Profile pictures of parrot.
Only one way.
Oh! Yo, y'all should join my stream and look at what he built.
I'm on my way to your house. We're gonna play peekaboo. Sure. Lol.
I'm taking a screenshot.
What? I'd say that's boring as. Who the hell plays peekaboo past the age of a literal top? Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Yo, literally like kids that.
I hear Jamie. The Jamie.
Literally like can't even walk yet. Like actual like toddlers. Like 8 months old.
I'm right behind you with my sirens up. Don't say you didn't hear me. Hey, your cop. So I don't run from you. I did it once.
Chad,
They pulled off. Yeah, you're actually using your speed. I was just I drove 4 feet, stopped, got out and ran.
Open, I'm immediately searching the entire house.
Oh, yeah, where y'all at?
You're not even a little bit concerned, just go.
Horton, here's a Jew.
Alright, I'm Horton, gas is the Jew. I'll be a cop again, but fuck, you didn't frick shit, you dumb cop. Oh shit, never mind, you're cop. No, you're cop.
Connor, by the way,
I'm calling ICE. No, right now, I'll call ICE.
Connor, if you see me in a 2014 black SUV, I think it's
No, there's gonna be a cop, because you're gonna act like, somebody's gonna act like an idiot, and exactly that's what it's gonna be. The dumbass of the track car.
I assume that's Cool Killer.
RP, but he's really shit at it.
Who is it?
The illegal man. Somebody thinks he knows how to RP, but he's really shit at it.
Like your stuffed animal.
Well, do you want me to lie? Like complaining is telling the truth.
Looking at her right now.
Oh, dude, did you just say call ICE? Right now, I have the ICE website. Currently on my browser. Do you know how to get to Horton?
Look around the room. No way she's hopping back on that fucking computer to type something.
Oh, thank you for helping.
Meanwhile, the way you get to Horton is when you come
There's more down here.
Dealership, take a left, shut up, dumb nigger. You take a left out of the dealership. Around the roundabout, you take a right. On the first turn that you get to, you take a right.
It's supposed to be cracked concrete, by the way.
Nigga, I'm giving him so we're treating him like a baby. He does have a car. Yes. And I'm giving him directions, and you're treating him like a 5-year-old. I
My brother's listening to Gummy Bear, bro.
Not a dox, you're all of them.
So there's a roundabout and you go right.
Take a right. You're gonna be on a highway. Shut up, nigger. I'm giving him directions. You're gonna be on a highway. Keep going. Fox, just come back to town. I got this. You're going to see a white Tahoe with its lights on. Turn down that road and ignore the black track hawk who's an idiot and doesn't know what he's doing. Turn down the road that the Tahoe's on. Is that a person wearing a rabbit mask? Multiple masked men absolutely destroyed my anal dog.
Interesting choice of words.
Oh, fuck the frog, bro.
Or that's a track hawk. No, that's you in the track hawk.
Ignore him.
What is this, the movie It? Red balloon. She got scared.
Bro, there's a literal goddamn Tahoe that I said is parked out front, you goddamn retard.
Oh my god, it's
So
really
let's get your nigga. That's the song that exactly describes Fox.
And Devin.
Imagine if they did it. Fat illegal babies. Double whammy. Imagine if Devin was just going 100. You're triple whammy.
And took a picture of you
Yeah,
with
that's
a
the max
flash.
speed my car can ever go. I'm broke in this game.
Simply noticing that.
Because you're goddamn slow as shit, especially in the head.
Like, legitimately blind. You're not 4 feet away from you. You're not looking right up like flashes. It's just like a flashbang right in your fucking face. And they're literally right there. That's her holding the photo.
I'm trying to little special.
Well, that's not possible.
I'm just making sure that you're there.
Alright, that's really scary. I thought she was on her phone.
Then who
maybe,
walks
like,
the other
taking her
goddamn
dog
side
out,
of the
like,
road?
3 hours ago. And the monster took a picture of her. I was thinking, that's like actually literally impossible.
Alright, this road, meme lord, this road. What the shit?
I might spawn out.
Picture of her holding a Polaroid.
Who went past me and who spun out before?
I would be freaked out.
It was me.
But I feel like I would be stuck on it, right?
Fuck, your shift is in 2 hours, by the
Say
way.
the monster's gonna kill me.
That's first.
I'd be like, before
I'm
you
going
murdered
60
me,
down this
how the
road.
fuck did you do this?
Oh man,
There's two
then you just
Polaroids.
admit to speeding.
Let's go
Alright,
by
buddy,
fast.
you're getting cuffed.
She's holding a Polaroid, which in the Polaroid is a picture of
The
the
fact-
Polaroid that she's holding.
There's a gas station.
It's not.
Blowing it.
She's
I'm
holding
blowing
in
it.
the
Back
photo.
it, I
She's
am
holding
blowing
the
it.
Polaroid that she's actively holding. It's not.
Oh,
This is actually impossible.
Holy shit, Fox flew.
And what was the person taking the photo in the pool? Because they were 4 feet away. They're in your house. Like, I'm not running back to my house. I'm not running back. If anything, I'm just running in the middle of the road.
Sir, pull the vehicle off to the right side of the road. And yeah, you can go down the main road. Meanwhile, you can't run, you just pull over. Yeah, you're getting alright. You're actually about to get your shit deported, Bob. You know why? I'm actually about to call the Federal Government Bureau of ICE.
When that bitch hits 20. That's why your
I'm about to
iPhone
call the
lets you
Federal...
know. That's why your phone
Pull over,
lets
you
know
dumb
when your-
jigger!
when your shit hits 20. I never
Yeah, you're getting
understand
booted.
how I hang out with my
Both of you
friends,
guys are.
and they'll just be like, oh, my phone's dead. I'm like, what do you mean your
Are we
phone's
retarded
dead?
or something?
Like, oh, it's been dead for a year.
Correctly, nigger!
I don't have a charger. What? What do you leave your house with your
It's my
phone on
private server. I
fucking
can just kick you out. All I
7%?
do is
What the
like
fuck
slash
are you
kick and
doing?
then you're using it. Cool, forward, and off the road!
Phone's dead. Find another alternative here. Oh my god. This shit.
I'm at Niggerina.
What, you numb digger? No. Whenever I'm done with this pull over, you're on this. Maybe. Whenever you get back here, No, you got
Window
to
mids, they in the window,
then you
in your
only 1
fucking,
extra hour,
they
so
in
then
your
that means
house.
it's 1-1 then. You can't flee! Back up!
And at one point, somebody said the Music City. At one point, he's turning off the fucking
The
loud
reason why I
parts
said
of
pull
the
forward!
music.
Pull forward!
Somebody's
You're
actively
in my
trying to
car!
kill you. You think that you were trying to play your
Do you know
sex
the reason why I stopped you today?
more alert and maybe be in a quiet room when you hear something? But we have
Opens trunk, grabs AR-15, puts on back. Alright, nigger, ID registration, proof of insurance, or I tase your bum ass.
Right here.
Bro, like, actually, I saw some shit like that.
Good boy.
What do you
Runs
even
his
do?
back
They
to.
tell you to look out your window, they're wearing a long white dress, and they have, like, flowy hair, and you can't see their face. I'm thinking it's a moment.
Throws back in car.
My flee. The flee.
So that's where you start shitting yourself. Like, actually. I'm not saying shit yourself.
I gave him
self-defense.
I gave him his shit back.
Make yourself really disgusting, and then they're not gonna kill you. It's like one of those scenarios where you ever get in a fist fight, they ever
I thought you were to stop. You step out of the vehicle.
wants to beat up a naked dude.
DUI.
So it's like, oh, you're scared you're gonna lose the fist fight, just pants yourself.
Get out of the vehicle.
And then it's like, oh, you know, like,
Hand on the hood.
now they're gonna
Hand on the
walk
hood.
away.
You're being safe.
Bitch, she left like 15 doors.
Tackles.
Why you broke?
Oh, of course you're trying to tackle him
like you're a
tackles.
You are not Ray Lewis.
Why are we going
Ray Lewis, baby.
On the roof.
lock the front door after
You
they
are not
just informed
chocolate Ray
you that
Lewis.
your door was unlocked?
It's a rose grenade up there.
That your door was unlocked, they would have had to
Nigga.
try to open your door.
Oh, you
Why
outlaw?
are you not just locking
7 wines. One of
Now
them.
she's just running directly to them. Every fucking short
I see him gonna be a white male in a cowboy hat. Possibly a nigger hater.
like
Running on foot.
incapable
Possible
of
nigger hater
making
running on foot.
just basic decisions
I know.
in
Probably
any
not.
amount of pressure.
Well, it's your top now. I don't care what you say.
Nice
You're
job
trying to
locking
get
the door.
Better get off in 20 minutes. Remember, couldn't wait 14 seconds.
Oh, now she's fine. Where the fucking
Alright,
dump
Teamwork.
stop?
Look. Well, I can run after you. Teamwork. Look for the black charger. That's Fox. Whenever you see him, full speed. You wanna keep on? 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 I want a coupon, not a keep on.
It's gonna be a little- What the fuck are those?
I'm trying to do what Connor's trying to say.
Yeah, look, anything electronics. Always take it with things around the house. Trying to fix anything.
That's it! That's it!
Coworker, I was extremely impressed.
Yeah.
Where's the two dudes? Hey, that black cop hit me, bro! He's not even supposed to be on the force!
Electricity,
Rolls down
IT,
window.
learn
I'm
that,
trying to talk
understand
to this
that.
guy.
It set me up the
Rolls down
sky's the
window.
limit. My
Hey,
found is
if you
amazing.
meet
I
me
have an
behind
exciting
the cat, or if you meet me behind that Chinese restaurant later, I'll give you some
We're
cocaine.
here at US Cellular. Our customers get exclusive deals
That's a
just for
player.
them. It almost feels
Oh, okay.
So we're getting the guy who ran into a house, but not the guy who's about to sell that guy who ran into the house with cocaine. Living that teenage dream. How is he albino but he's black? 50% looking on.
50-50.
No.
I mean, yeah, it's taking forever to send the message. You sent it
He
45
kind of
fucking
he works.
minutes.
He works
Oh
with a
my
pedophile.
God. This ain't look behind you.
Because it's my car.
You left the sliding glass door open.
No.
He's hammered, bro. He's absolutely blasted. No. Can you not tell?
Budweiser.
That guy's like a goddamn single dad after a divorce. Slamming him down. You want him to blow you. Oh,
-1.
I swear he's sober, officer. He sucked my cock last night, and my cock doesn't reek of alcohol. He just said, well, what's gonna happen if you get to 1? Before I pull off. Not. I just wanna, he's gonna lead the game. Officer, shoot him! He's black!
What?
You won't, don't worry. 0.0.
Yeah. Okay, so
Narc.
it says,
Narc.
Says 0.0002.
Well, that means 0.2. He means. That is. There we go.